So, the religion gods can't exist. It'll be ludicrous to believe it exists. Um, if there was a god, it would be a deist god, a god of no religion. Here's the reason why: because there's so many contradictions in holy books. Too many holy books, too many verses of heavens and hells. There's slavery, rape, murder, genocide. God does killing, burns people for no reason, kills animals for no reason, even kills kids for no reasons. Um, any of the gods of the religions cannot exist. And, you know, we are all more moral than that God. The only God that could exist would be a God of no religion. But that still leaves a question. Where the hell did God come from and who created the God? It makes it even harder. God is just plain cheating. It really is. Because like I said, if we wouldn't even need science if God done did it at all. you know? So God is cheating. It really is. I say wait for the answer. I think it's more. I mean, so many Americans, that people just want the easy answer. God, and they feel comfortable. But to me, it's more exciting to find the unknown, how it happened, with no God. That makes it, and I think that's why I love being an atheist. I love being a skeptic because it makes you think, it makes you learn. You know, hell, like science, evolution's amazing. You know, Charles Darwin, natural selection, variance. It's all of it's amazing. The diversity of life, how all this stuff through science. That's more interesting than a God just did it all. you know, but the bottom line is, where'd your God come from? Who created it? Um, the gods of religion cannot exist. I have to agree with Aaron Rowe. You know, those gods just would be ludicrous to believe they exist. It'd be ridiculous. Like I said, the only gods, if there was a God, would be a God of no religions. But that always leaves a question. The problem is, once you throw any God, whatever, deism, pantheist God, the God is the mind, God is the universe, God the planets, that's not an answer, man. Even that designer has to have an explanation. We're talking about a God now. Now, if there was some chance that alien designed, and this is where we go to the really unknown, freaky stuff, aliens exist, we're talking about maybe like teleportation is possible, levitation is possible, reading people's minds is possible, gravity is probably different. I mean, things could be floating, things we can't just understand because it's alien to us, and aliens out there. Things that's very freaky and bizarre. Um, you know, but that will leave that question too. Well, which species out of the whole freaking cosmos was the designer? But that has more merit than a god, because a god we're talking about, a god it's like the supreme entity being that could just wield anything into being, anything into being. And that's ridiculous. That's ludicrous. But if we're talking about a alien or some species had something to do with our universal design, that gives it more merit. But we would have to find out which species it was. But that may be possible, or as obviously could be natural forces and elements and things we don't know that caused our universe, or sparked the Big Bang. I mean, we know what it was, but I'm talking about sparking the Big Bang. You know, um, so um, America would be better if they were deist or atheist, because hell, the United States was founded on deism. I mean, But obviously, atheist is the best approach. Because if we did have deists, um, then we don't have to worry about all these bad things that the religion does, all these things are against people, and all these rules, and just terrible atrocities. Um, Now, if the religion was better, you know, um, just imagine if the God existed of the religion, but the religion had no craziness stuff like the religions that do have now, like no atrocities, no murder, no just and no jealous God. Just that would be so much better. Hell, we wouldn't even have to be. Um, I mean, I think there would be obviously atheists to find out how it all came to be instead of just, God done did it all. But at least um, we wouldn't, there would be no, um, um, hating gays and religion to politics, and it would just be better. But even if they were deists, they would, I don't know, they'll probably find a way to have still be, I guess, creationism, really, because it evokes a God, and it would still be affected politics. But it would be better than theism. But obviously, the best approach is atheism because it has no God, and no God would be into politics. There would be no creationism. There would only be the way that it's supposed to be, the scientific method, which is the only way, you know. So, um, but I believe, if people were deists, they wouldn't be so fanatical like the churches and all the dogma that the religions carry. Deism would be better than theism, you know, um, um, because it has a God of no religion. This means no heavens, no hells. But it's not a. It's like Dawkins said, deism is weak atheism, because once again you have the deist or whatever you want to pantheist, where the mind come from, you know, where the God come from, who created the God, and that is the bigger mystery, because if the universe is so complex, multiverses, your designer has to be more complex, and that designer needs an explanation. Bottom line, especially even any or deism, it still needs an explanation, and no matter if it's polytheism, the Anunnaki, people believe in the Anunnaki, the reptilian gods that created all existence, just, bottom line, it doesn't matter, any gods of religion, gods of no religion, still needs an explanation. What created it, where did it come from? So the answer is just science and naturalism. Things we don't know. There's aliens and unknown forces, unknown elements that created a bunch of stuff, and people need to understand that non-life can become life. There was different experiments that did this Miller-Urey experiment. People actually, scientists have already created cells from scratch. They actually manipulated cells. They actually put cells with more DNA. I think it's possible in time we'll create a multi-cell, just like we are, because we're multi-cell, which is very complex. It's just going to be a matter of time. And and I think it's just going to go to the unknown. Like I said, Lauren Krauss said, science is going to have to be written. Things. If the universe use science, then aliens probably use science too. And other species out there use science, and then it's just more explanation. And then we'll just find out more from there. But you can never say gods, because no matter what, once you say gods, you shot yourself in the foot. It's cheating, and it's can be, because what created the God, and where did it come from? So stick with the atheists, stick with the science, because that's the only pathway to truth. Science. Peace.